Hi everyone, Chloe here. Just going to give you a quick overview of a few of the things that I'm looking at for this week. Not an exhaustive list because we don't have all that much time, but just a few things that I'm looking out for. So I'll start off with the oils, Brent and WTI. Just to point out that while we have had a strong uptrend of late, price has actually pulled back on both Brent and WTI, but it's pulled back to a fairly significant level of what was resistance now potentially to become support. So this is Brent that I'm looking at here now on the daily time frame. Price has come all the way back down. It's come to the monthly pivot here. It's come to the 50 moving average, and it's come to this horizontal level of what could potentially be support. It has been resistance in the past. So I'm looking keenly at this area to see whether one of two things happens. Either price could break below this level, in which case I might anticipate a bit of further downward price action, perhaps lower highs, lower lows creeping in, and the ability maybe to trade this short on a lower time frame. Alternatively, if this horizontal level holds as along with the 50 moving average and monthly pivot, then I'll be looking for a return to the uptrend, and I'll be looking to trade that long on the lower time frames as well as the daily time frame. So things are pretty much the same on WTI. The horizontal level of support is not quite so clear cut, but there it is, that one there that price has come down to, along with the monthly pivot and 50 moving average. So again, if this level holds, I'll be looking for opportunities for the uptrend to resume on lower time frames and the daily time frame. And if it breaks, then perhaps we've got some further selling to come, although this one I probably wouldn't be trading short personally, because there still is a lot of support down here as well. Moving on to the US indices then. And the US indices are approaching an area that I've been looking out for quite some time. It's the 50 moving average. So this is the US 500. It's the 50 moving average on the monthly time frame, which we can see in the past has been respected during the course of these longer pullbacks. Now, yes, this is significantly bearish price action, but price always has to return to its mean, its equilibrium, its average at some point. And so the fact that it's come down to the 50 moving average or heading towards the 50 moving average here doesn't necessarily mean doom and gloom for the stock markets. It could just be a pullback. And this area here that I've marked in, it's also a horizontal level of what was resistance and support just over here. So potentially could find that there may be some buyers ready to creep back into the market at this point. So I'll be looking keenly at that. And obviously if that level breaks, then I'll be looking for short opportunities. But I'm just keen to see whether this level does indeed hold, because that could be a good time for buyers to come back into the market. The Nasdaq, very, very similar. If we look at that on the monthly, it's already reached the 50 moving average. This is a level of support that I've marked in here based on this weekly time frame. And again, I'll be looking for either trend to resume to the upside or for this level to break, in which case I'll be happy to continue trading short. But any short trades at the moment, I am very cautious about because of the fact that we're approaching these horizontal levels. So this is the US 30. So all three of the major US indices here, all approaching this significant level of horizontal support, 50 moving average, and looking for potentially buyers to come back into the market in this area, in which case long trades on the lower time frames might be an opportunity, or waiting with more patience for higher time frames to start setting up. If this level breaks, I'm definitely going to be bearish on those lower time frames and looking for further short opportunities. On to the currencies then, just briefly. I'll start with Aussie Dollar. This is the weekly time frame I've got up here just to show you the overall kind of price action and trend in this horizontal level here. So this is a horizontal level which has been support all the way back to 2020. Before that, it was significant resistance. It's support also all the way back to 2018. So this horizontal level here is significant, and price has broken through. Last week, price has broken through that level. And this week, I'm looking to see whether price may continue downwards from there. So on this daily time frame, there is another area to be aware, which are these low points of the last couple of months down here. So price currently in between these two areas. I'm looking for price really to break down below this previous low, in which case I'll be looking to trade Aussie dollar short. But it is a significant level of support. So there is the possibility that price could actually come back above this level, in which case perhaps we're going to stick in some kind of a range here on Aussie dollar. But if it does manage to really truly break below this area here, then I'm definitely interested in trading short on Aussie dollar. Euro dollar, just to point out, this is the monthly time frame on euro dollar, and just to point out the level that price is at on the monthly, significant support down here. Price has not been significantly below this level all the way since 2002, a long time ago. This is the weekly time frame here. So it's dipped its head below this level a couple of times, but this is a very significant horizontal level of support. I'm just pointing it out because price is right at that level currently. If it manages to break down through here, and specifically if it manages to get down below these two previous lows, much the same actually as we saw on Aussie dollar, those two previous lows there, then I will definitely be very bearish on euro dollar. If this level holds, obviously, then we could start to see something along the lines of a return to an uptrend of sorts. But this level here, I'm keeping a very close eye on, because if it breaks to the downside, then I definitely want to be looking for short opportunities. Cable. If we look at cable on the higher time frames, you can see that there is a significant horizontal level of support down here. So very cautious trading towards that level. But really, I just wanted to point out that on the daily time frame, price has pulled back and looks like it's returning to the kind of downwards move of this trend. So it doesn't look great on the daily time frame, but I'm just having a look on the hourly. And actually, the hourly time frame here, if price does start cycling below this 50 moving average, then there may be an opportunity to get into a short trade between where price is currently and this horizontal level of support. Perhaps even, we have to wait for the daily pivot to form here, but it's not going to be that far away from where it is currently. And that may form a level of resistance, perhaps, that price could bounce from in order to return to the downtrend. So that's something that I'm looking out for. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about for today were the yen pairs. So those of you who have been listening to me trading over the last kind of weeks and months will know I've been heavily trading the yen pairs, predominantly dollar yen. So there's still an uptrend on dollar yen. I've got a couple of horizontal levels that are potentially significant. This one here, price has almost come down to and bounced from and is headed back to the upside. So I'm looking to trade long on dollar yen still. I won't stop looking to trade long until I see a technical reason not to, i.e. a lower high on this daily time frame. Now, I'm interested in getting in on lower time frames to this, and 4 hourly time frame, a little bit cautious, because it looks like potentially if price pulls back from here, we could be in for a slightly lower high, which would be a bit of a shame, in all honesty, because it will scupper my plan for my next long trade on dollar yen. But we'll have to wait and see what time frames the trend set up on, and see if there is any further long trading to do there. Now, the currency pair that I'm most bullish on at the moment, actually, out of all the yen crosses, is Singapore dollar against the Japanese yen. And that one, I'm most bullish because of the indices, the dollar index, and the kind of overall performance of the Singapore dollar as well, leads me to a bullish Singapore dollar Singapore dollar against the Japanese yen. And we can see here that the previous day's trading was very, very strongly bullish, and I'm going to be looking for lower time frame entries into this, so 4 hourly and below, perhaps hourly as well. I'm not going to trade this on the daily time frame. I think this candle is too big to be, yes, I do believe price could go up. I don't believe I'd get a great reward to risk if I were to trade this candle. So I'm looking for long opportunities on the lower time frames here. CAD yen, I'm also bullish on. I like the fact that it's come down to this previous high here. So I'll be looking for long opportunities on CAD yen. On Swiss yen also, that's looking very bullish. And in fact has taken off past this previous high. So I'll be looking for long opportunities on Swiss yen and euro yen, very similar. The problem with euro yen here is that price is actually kind of fairly overextended for the month. It's moved a long way for the month, so I'll be a little bit more cautious about that. Got Kiwi yen as well, looking fairly bullish. This is the weekly time frame, daily time frame. Perhaps just a little bit more room I'd be cautious about these previous highs, but maybe a little bit more room to trade on a lower time frame, such as the hourly, if there's an opportunity there. So still bullish overall on the yen pairs, and those are still probably the main ones I'm looking for opportunities on, keeping an eye closely on those levels I mentioned on Aussie dollar, euro dollar, and cable, and then also looking at those levels on the oils and the US indices as well. So that's it from me for a quick overview for you guys, and enjoy the rest of the show. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and speak to you soon. Cheers, everyone.